January 19th, 2019 is when we entered the professional wrestling business with Press Start. When I think of those two words, Press Start, that means that we're ready to enter the game. That means we are ready to show that we are number one. And that's what we did. When you get that cartridge and when you get that disc and you load it up, the first two words you usually see is Press Start. We've been in the game. But in 2023, it's not a game anymore. We went from C3 Wrestling to C3 Ultimate Wrestling for a reason. And we're going to show you guys what Press Start to. January 21st, 2023 at On the Square Sports Academy at Crown Point, Indiana. My name is Classic Alpha. And in 2023, I'm ready to press start.
Press start. I am ready to press start.
I'm absolutely ready to press start.
The ARC says, press start.
Press start.
Press start? Man, you know I'm mashing the button.
My name is Classic Alpha, and I'm here to save professional wrestling. You might ask, what do I mean when I say saving professional wrestling? Well, the issue is nobody's professional anymore. A lot of people are cheating the fans, looking at YouTube training videos to become professional wrestlers. That's cheating and chipping those wonderful fans. I'm here to show these guys, these wonderful people, what professional wrestling really is. If I gotta carry that burden, then I will. I'll take it to the mountain, to the rooftops if I have to. You don't work, you don't eat. You don't grind, you don't shine. It's time for me to shine. It's time for me to eat. As you guys can see, I'm already the Mid-Valley champion and the Now-That's Wrestling champion. Who other belts do I have to take to show you guys what professional wrestling really is? I'm just so sick. It's just a crime that a lot of these people call themselves professional wrestling, but don't even respect the business, don't even respect the people that came before us to pave the way for us. But 2023, I'm going to show you guys what I learned. I'm going to bring the best, and I'm calling out the best professional wrestlers in 2023. Nobody less than a professional wrestler, anybody higher than a professional wrestler. Set them up. Watch I knock them down. And I got one thing that can stop everybody. The alpha drop. Who will be broken off proper? Welcome to 2023. Y'all know what I gotta say. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, can everybody hear me?
All right, dealing with some audio. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Yo, can everybody hear me in the chat? Yo, can everybody hear me in the chat? Okay. All right, I got it. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. My apologies. I don't know what's going on with the audio and everything like that. If you guys do not hear me or cannot hear me clear, let me know and I can try to fix it. So let me just go into it. What's going on, guys? This is Chris Classic. This is the Take It Home podcast. I have an interview today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. And if not, there are better times ahead of us. I want to do the promotion stuff, sponsorship and everything before I have my guest. I have my guest in the background. So I'm going to add him shortly. But tomorrow is True Privilege Wrestling. We have Full Circle 4. So it's the anniversary show for True Privilege Wrestling. I have a championship match and a championship opportunity. I'm going against Mike Strong to grab the belt back. And there's something in the works in the background. I don't want to say I can't confirm, but it might be a lot sweeter tomorrow. I can't confirm it. Maybe tonight if everything is done. I can't confirm it, but it's something special possibly happening. I guessed he is in a tag team match against Law and Rivera because he is part of the Empire and the tag team championships. They are the champions, the Empire and everything like that. So you guys do not want to miss the show tomorrow. It is 200 South 5th Avenue in Maywood, Illinois. Doors open at 6, bell time at 7. And then 2 weeks away from that, C3 Ultimate Wrestling is back with Press Start 2. It's going to be so dope. I'm currently uploading a lot of promo videos and stuff like that, promoting heavy, man. It's just been a busy week and everything like that. This is possible through Limelight Entertainment Studios, limelightcomics.com. Have a great website full of content. They currently have out a lot of things on their website. I just got my comic for Conquered Crown, Amazon's Assembled. That's going to be dope. I'm a big fan of the Captivating Light and everything like that. Check out their website, limelightcomics.com. And then also our second sponsor is Young Expressions presents A Penny for Your Thoughts, Sweets for Your Soul. Sweets. 3 cookies for $3 will be at the show. If you do not buy them, I will buy them, so don't worry about it. They will be sold off on my payroll. Anyway, then we also have on the 28th, Winter Warfare. That's in Appleton. For now, that's wrestling. Shout out to them. Thank you for having me and everything positive there. Then in February, we're back in Appleton for now and forever. And then we're back again in Appleton in March. Melee. It's going to be very dope. Very dope. So I can't wait. I think it's in Neenah, this one, the 28th. I'm going to double check because I don't want to mislead or anything like that. So I'm going to put my guest on now. We are going to talk about wrestling. We're going to talk about how he started. We're going to talk about the current product and things that he likes and things that he does not like. So without further ado.
What up?
What up? What up? Before anything, let everybody know who you are.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Damien Tyler. Y'all should know me by now. Come on now. Right? Everybody that's watching, y'all. That's okay. That's all right.
I know who you are. I know who you are.
I know you know who I am. I know you know who I am. Mr. Classic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you had me on your show.
Why you say that?
Because you know I'm very outspoken. You're the nice version of me. You know, I don't. I was surprised. So
I'll
glad
accept
you had
that.
me on. Okay.
I'll
All right.
accept that.
I'll be on my best behavior today.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. I've tried to interview a lot of guys that I talk to about wrestling and a lot of other things as well. And like sometimes when I post stuff, you're very vocal about it. And you're very honest about it. And you know, we've been talking for years about certain things. So it was just like when I put that thing up about who should I interview, and it's like, Damien, I was like, of course I have to interview him. You know, first interview of the year, I have to interview him. So
it's just the part of, you know, the honesty part. Honesty is sometimes not the best policy. My honesty has gotten me in trouble a couple of times, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes honesty is like the best thing, and sometimes people don't want the truth, and sometimes people can't handle it. But even telling the truth can sometimes open your eyes to, did I really need to be there? Did I really need to go there? Did I really need to support them and things like that? You know, some people don't see like how we see things, and then I may have a different view on how you view something as well. But at the end of the day, we still bros and things like that. Some people take it personal. You get what I'm saying? I don't take it personal.
Problem. That is the biggest. People take stuff way too personal when it comes to this business. It's unfortunate because people don't listen once you try to tell them certain things. They get to shutting stuff off. But hey,
yeah,
that's all I can do. Once I said, hey, it's out there. I said it. I ain't taking it back.
I understand. Before we go in though, tell everybody, how did you get started in the business?
I've been in the business. This is year 14 for me. Year 14. I'll never forget 14 years ago, me and one of my best friend, we actually went to Windy City Pro Wrestling. We went to their school over east. And I signed up. Unfortunately, he didn't. He kind of chickened out on me, but I stuck to it. And here I am 14 years later, broken body and broken dreams, but I'm still doing it, baby. I'm still going, still trying.
Yeah. Check me light be on, bro. Trust me.
Check back. All that good stuff.
Check back, check sight, check age and everything. I'm like, how old am I again? I forgot.
I'm 37 in 3 weeks. 37. So
what up, Brett? All right, he says he's listening. Yep. Yeah, for guys who listen to this or just watch, you know, if you're at work or whatever like that, this stuff works for like a podcast thing. I just got to get my audio stuff right and everything, because everything is so subscription based. And, you know, everybody wants to make money, and I understand that. But golly, everything is a subscription for everything, for space, for audio. But going back into the interview, what made you want to be a wrestler? Like you said, 14 years in the business, and trust me, injuries, attitudes, backstabbing, a lot of stuff that happens. What made you consistently know that this is what you wanted to do with your life?
In the beginning, for me, it was the you remember those old school promo packages that the WWE had? I remember watching those as a kid, and I just loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really wanted to be a part of that. That was the dream right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know anything outside of the WWF. WWF, WCW, ECW. Those are the three things that I knew about. I didn't know nothing about wrestling from those three companies, other than those three companies. So when I got into the business and seeing that it was so much more wrestling out here, you know, you had several awesome wrestling fans in Japan and all over the world. You have the indies. I fell in love with it. So it kind of made the E not look as important anymore, but it was still that promo packaging and behind the scenes that made me kind of stay in the business now. So yeah, that's why I'm still doing it.
So it's options, you know. Like you, I didn't know outside of what I saw on TV about the independent scene. I was introduced through the independent scene when CM Punk debuted on WWE ECW, the ECW version of WWE. And what happened was I was a fan. And what I typed on, went to YouTube, And then they were introducing things like ROH and other stuff. And I was like, what is this? This has been going on for years, and I had no idea because I was so used to looking at TV and not seeing things like an ROH or anything for the independent circuit or whatever. And that's how I got hooked. And Samoa Joe was like one of the top guys who I still love to this day. And I would look at
Samoa Joe for me too. Like I picked up a wrestling magazine, and he was doing like I think like a plancha or something. And I was like, who the hell is this gigantic Samoan flying over the top rope? Like, why is he not in the WWE? Like, what's going on? Who is this guy? So that's the wrestling magazines really helped me too.
Magazines, we had a few,
So PWI. Who else? It was another wrestling magazine I used to read back in the day. But yeah, they definitely helped me. So I fell in love with the indie scene. Yeah. And didn't know it was even here in Chicago. Like, well, I didn't know we had stuff here, and found out it was a school, and there I was getting tossed around like a rag doll every week.
And that's that's what's up, man. They call it, it's paying dues to some.
Paid my dues. Thanks, dummy, for a lot of stuff, man. Thanks a lot, Shane Foster and Chris Logan, for using me as their guinea pig for so much. Also, Marcelo Spade as well. I was his guinea pig for a minute with submissions and chain wrestling. My shoulder is still not the same. Thank you.
No, but when you're with your people and stuff like that, you just want to do anything and try to see if you can emulate or make up your own moves and stuff like that. So like that's always a good thing to have your people come in with you and stuff like that.
Yeah, like we were a close knit little family. We like to call ourselves the last of the Mohicans, basically, when it comes to Windy City. Because basically after us, maybe it was like maybe one more class after us, and then the doors kind of closed. So we're like the last of the Mohicans. And people don't like to hear that from us, but it is what it is. Some of the old heads don't like that, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. As long as you know where you come from and stuff like that, and you're proud of that, then nobody can really take that away from you. You know what I'm saying? I do think a lot of people go into certain things and like they try to criticize or they minimize how something was for you. And if it was very important to you, then that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like it was some weird moments, in the beginning. I still appreciate it. The schooling and everything. Yeah. I wish it would have went better, but it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, we can't knock where we came from. A lot of people try to erase where they come from. You can't. That's the reason why you're here. So you might as well embrace it.
True. True. Real quick, Brett has a question for you. You said, what match made you become a fan, and what match made you want to become a worker?
What match made me want to become a fan? I wouldn't say a certain match. For me, it was like everything about wrestling just it was just great to me. Even though I was the smallest out of my family, I was the roughest and toughest. So I was always jumping on people and flying around. So I love wrestling. To become a worker, I would have to say it was I think it was like AJ Styles and I'm gonna say Samoa Joe. I think Impact like a long ass time ago. I was watching WoW cable, and they was on WoW you can get it for like I think like $1 or something to watch their pay-per-views. Yeah. And I remember watching one of their pay-per-views, and I was like, hey, I want to get into this. Like I need to find me a school or something. And next thing you know, I was signing up for Windy City. Like I think that following week. So I would say can't remember exactly which match that was, but it was definitely Joe and AJ Styles.
Yeah, Impact, well, TNA, that was a big thing back in the day. Like people still talk about Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels triple threat.
Man, I was about to say that match was great. Yeah, like that's that was another good. I don't know why Impact changed. Like that was one of the definitely one of the spots.
I could probably give a few guesses, you know.
Man, I
It's
get
a few
that's
guesses.
one of those moments where I got in trouble for that too. Speaking about what was going on in Impact, I was told not to ever worry about working there ever by someone. It's like, oh, okay, I guess just stating my point of view, sir. But all right, I guess it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, Brett says that was one of his favorite triple threat matches ever. Yeah, we're living in a time, and even for the past few years, we're living in a time where people emulate things that go viral or help you get booked.
Yeah.
And if you want to emulate or try something, I would suggest that triple threat. You know, to me, it made sense. It was 3 different guys, and they wrestled different from each other,
How
besides
about two
punches
different
and
styles?
stuff.
Yeah.
It was different. It was very different. And I think with wrestling now, it's everybody does the same stuff. So it's like if people want to channel a triple threat, you know, sometimes triple threats can be sloppy. Anything more than 2 men outside of tags can be sloppy, but that is one that was well paced. Barisha says hi. Hello, Barisha. Hope everything is fine with you.
Hello.
So all right, so you Mr. Outspoken. You know, I'm gonna ask, you know, what are your pet peeves in professional wrestling? And I use professional real light and in air quotes so people can see the air quotes. What are your pet peeves, my brother?
My pet peeve: horrible booking. That's horrible booking. It's crazy. A lot of stress is on us as wrestlers, us as performers, to get everything across, you know, get our gimmick across and all that. But it doesn't matter how well we do it if the booking is bad. At the end of the day, owners and bookers need to do their part, and a lot of them are taking shortcuts. They're not even giving people a chance to develop their gimmicks or their character or anything, because they'll put a product out there, and before the product even grows, okay, we're gonna keep dumping it. Why? It wasn't doing what it was supposed to. You need to give it a chance to. Like it irritates me to see that. Like it's like reading a book and then somebody rips the rest of the pages out and be like, all right, that's it. No, I need to read the rest of the book so I can know what happens. Nope. But yeah, that's definitely one of my pet peeves. It's getting worse now, and I'm not understanding like what's going on. Like I'd be watching wrestling and be like, what is this? What's going on? Who booked this? Why is this going on? I like for stuff to make sense. Stuff ain't making sense. So
yeah, no, I definitely get you. On the promoter and booking part, some things can be inconsistent only because maybe the wrestler couldn't be there. But like if the 2 wrestlers or a few wrestlers are there in the storyline, I don't understand scrapping it unless like somebody had like a bad attitude. But other than that, that's still of an investment, and if you will, you're investing in that, and you're trying to get people to get into that. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Basically, to me, that's how you build a fan base. You know, is a good storyline. You got to have, once you have fans coming in, they're gonna have to keep coming back, and the way to keep having them come back is storylines.
Yeah,
they're not keep coming back for the same thing over and over again. So you're gonna have to spice it up some way, and they just continuously dump ideas.
No, storylines, and even if it's not even if you can't afford to give someone a storyline, if you just give them matches that make sense, and if the person they're going against knows psychology, everything works out. So, Brett says,
"That's the word of the day." Where's the whistles and sparklers? Word of the day: psychology.
I say it all the time. I say people that only book their main event and the rest of the show is just random matches. Yeah. You know, I think that some people just want to make money. And it's like you have a God complex of, okay, well, I'm creating this and nobody can tell me anything about it, and I know what I'm doing. Now, as a booker and a promoter myself, there are certain things that I do want, storyline-wise, or some things to happen in the match. But I do know, like, they have people that are, like, difficult for no reason. You know, hey, I want you to do this. And then when they do it, you get upset that they actually did it, or they did it well past their expectations, if that makes sense. You know, that wasn't supposed to go as over as it is. Now, it doesn't make sense to probably a lot of people listening, but you know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
Like you get so invested in it, and then now you get mad and want to take the rug from under somebody, you know. it's pettiness too as well, you know.
Yeah, it's storytelling. But when it comes to storytelling, fans are kind of the issue as well. Not just the promoters and bookers. Fans can be an issue too. A good example is the whole Bray coming back. Fans are already complaining. Like, it's taking too long. When is he gonna wrestle? Blah blah blah. Man, let the story develop. Like, come on already. Just chill. Y'all complained about him being gone. He's back. He's doing it his way, and you're still complaining. Like, let the story develop. Yeah. Now, once the story develops and it's over with, you didn't like it, okay, then you can talk trash. Like, okay, I didn't like how that went. But how can you talk trash about a movie that's not even over yet? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, I get what you're saying.
That gives you a pain sometimes with that too.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, since we all talked about it. You know me, I'm not that big of a fan of Bray Wyatt. I'm not.
Come on, man. I'm drinking that Kool-Aid. I'm drinking that Kool-Aid.
Man, look. And look, I understand. I understand, because I said it too. I was like, when Bray comes back, a lot of people are going to expect a lot of things and things like that. And people was already trying to make a stable for him. They was already trying to do that. And I was just like, wait, let's see what they do with him first. Don't just put him carrying Cross and Alexa, even though they're teasing that. And who else? It was other guys.
There's a lot of rumors. Supposedly LA Knight is going to be with him too.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of speculation. I stopped reading the dirt sheets a while ago. Like, I try to stay away from it as much as possible because it just gets outrageous with the accusations.
Yeah, it gets. And then now what I do like is that dirt sheets are not being held accountable to it. Now they're reneging on stuff. Oh, I didn't really say that. This was just speculation.
Speculation. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just stopped reading them.
Yeah, Brett says another pet peeve will be fans that think they know everything when they know nothing. I'm playing along with the interview. Well, yeah. With that, this is why I try to keep a locker room. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I say, like for us as wrestlers, workers, is that we need something to where I don't want to say ourselves, but that's private. You don't need to know what's going on, but what we allow you to see. You get what I'm saying? We want fans to come in. We want you guys to spend money on us, buy our gear, buy merch, buy tickets and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, shouldn't have to sell my soul, quote unquote, to get you to come, to sit and watch me wrestle and stuff like that. There's something that wrestlers still need to have, and that's that locker room for sure.
It's that wonderful word that we kind of learned in the beginning, kayfabe. So that's a dying thing. It's internet. Fans can find out about any type of storyline, any wrestler that they want.
Pictures.
So it's really hard to keep this business secretive anymore. So that's why you have to kind of like draw. You got to kind of draw that line somewhat. It's kind of hard. You got to blur, and that's what I mean. You got to blur that line sometimes, and it gets difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's possible. My thing was, one of my pet peeves was that wrestlers are starting to be like, okay, well, the business is exposed, so let's me expose it more.
Even more.
Showing the back, showing the locker room, and all right, you're in a feud.
Rivalry, but we're going out for drinks, and I'm showing all the pictures on my.
All right, we're in a feud. This guy literally just hit me with a chair, and I was out for months. But we're out eating at Red Lobster, breaking crab legs together. And even now, how wrestlers are really going on like Twitter and stuff like that and say, "Hey, I'm not a bad guy in real life. I'm a nice person." It's like, what's the point of investing? What is that? That doesn't help character development. Where does that go from here? I'm not this guy in real life.
I kind of miss that old school way that they did things when it came to like characters. Like Undertaker was Undertaker. Whenever you see him, Ric Flair. Whenever you see him, like I kind of miss that. I'm not even gonna lie. I have done that too when fans meet me and talk to me. I'm me, so I'm cracking jokes and laughing. They be like, "Man, you're way different than you are." I was like, "Oh no, I'm a jerk. No, I'm a jerk. I'm sucking you in. Like I'm totally a tool. Don't believe me right now." So I'm kind of guilty of that too. Kind of let your guard down sometimes when you're talking to people.
But that's you just saying that though. It's not like you're going on a public thing to where somebody can have receipts and screenshots and things like that, because some people understand what it is, but at the same time, it's just like you want people say they want monster heels, and I'm like, do you really want a monster heel, or do you want somebody to put,
For God's sake, I miss heels. I miss people that like to be hated. I miss it. Everybody wants to be cheered now. What is up with that? Like,
man, that's the
love me. Yeah. No, I don't mind people hating me. I love it. I love the little lady that wants to wait for me after the show to stab me with something. I love that.
Yeah, it's
throwing stuff at me. I love
it. It's the landscape, especially with social media, is definitely so different. Like, and I talk about this a lot when Britt Baker went against Thunder Rosa and they were like bloodied and stuff like that. So people were saying that it was fake, and then Britt like went online and was showing her scars, and I'm like, you don't have to do that. You're a heel.
Use that.
You don't have to. It was unnecessary. Like, to me, it was just like, hey, let me show you what I put my body. We put our body on the line, just already. And to me, you don't have to do that kind of thing.
Good old AEW.
Yeah, Brett says I love Bray. He says when you did our when he was talking to me when I did his podcast a couple weeks ago, he was straight up here a-hole, and my character is me ramped up. And that's the thing. Sometimes characters be extensions of yourself, and that's the thing is if you can capitalize on that, it's sweet money right there.
Yeah,
I think people try too hard to try to be something, but then don't invest in it as soon as the fans don't connect. And sometimes it takes a while. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely takes a minute for a character to develop. A good example of that is I'm a huge fan of Max the Impaler. Yeah. Like watching her growth from when I first started watching her, maybe it was it's been longer than 2 years, like a couple of years, three or 4 years. Watching her character development, man, like she's a monster. Like I can legit, like I get a little intimidated when I go, okay.
Yeah. Like investment,
I believe her gimmick. Right. Like I believe her gimmick.
Right. It takes time. And I think a lot of people, they don't understand that. There'll be 12 gimmicks in 12 shows, 12 different shows, 12 different gimmicks, and nothing is sticking. Zack Ryder is actually a good example too.
His growth has been phenomenal since he left the E, since he went back to the Indies and everything.
Yeah, even when he was in the E, when he was doing his TV show. Yeah, he
a lot of opportunities he kind of created on himself just because he had buzz on the internet. So
on the internet, when people are calling for you while The Rock is out there cutting a promo, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
that's pretty big. But yeah, even afterwards, he's making a name for himself with the title wins and stuff like that. Like he's showing. I don't want to say that WWE missed out because that's subjective, but he's showing that he was. Yeah, I'll say that. He's showing what they could have had. You know what I'm saying?
What he's capable of if given the opportunity. He just. I hate to say that because so many people, once they leave the E, they definitely said I wasn't given the opportunity. He wasn't really given that opportunity to really show what he was capable of. They put him in a nice little box, and he stayed there. Even every time he tried to get out, they would grab him and stick him right back in.
Grab him and put him back in. Yeah,
they give him his 15 seconds outside of the box. Like, okay, that's enough. Get back in the box. So
yeah,
I agree. What he's capable of. He just did an interview not too long ago, and they asked him would he go back. He said, of course. He said, he would go back. Even with the idea of what they would do to him if he went back, the role, he was like, he would still do it. Say, hey, that just shows like people talk a lot of trash about the E. People still will go to the E.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I say it all the time. I'm like, look.
I don't understand why they talk so much trash about the E. Damn well you will go back. You're going to go back. How are you going to do that?
For sure. You'll go back. If they give you more money, they give you more opportunity, you will go back.
Just the same money, they still gonna go back. Why? Because it's the E. It's a lot of people. They're gonna go back.
Yeah,
I just find it funny that some people that left complained about them not being used correctly, They leave, and then they're still not being used correctly.
Who is Carl Anderson for 500, Alex?
Like you left. You talked all that trash.
Yeah, he did. Carl was one of those ones I didn't think was coming back because he talked about the pay. He talked about they were treated.
Man, man. I was like, oh yeah, they're not coming back, and then look what happened.
I was like, they're definitely not coming back. And then they did the retirement tour, dropping titles, announcing, saying they're going back, and I'm like, well, what happened? But from what I'm hearing, it was more money, but still, it still makes you look kind of crappy because you were saying all of this stuff and how you was mistreated and all this, and then you back with them, you know.
Yeah. A good example of that also is Miro. Like, I love his work.
Yes.
I was somewhat excited when he went to AEW, and then they didn't do nothing with him. So I was like, what the hell? And now he's been sitting on the show for months, not hurt, just sitting on the show. They don't have nothing.
They have nothing for him. And let me say,
ain't that at least the E had you on TV? They might have had you doing some goofy stuff, but at least you were on TV. But you know, it is.
I enjoyed him at first. Besides the goofy Mickey, you know, he came out with a Mickey Mouse shirt in AEW, but I enjoyed him. You know, I liked the stuff that he was saying. I even liked the fact that they were saying his neck was his weakness from the DDT, like because they was making him a monster. You have to literally say that what his weakness is, and then they just stopped. And I thought he had a great transition from Rusev to Miro and everything. And unfortunately, I do wish they gave him a better opportunity. We can say that even about Andrade.
Man, AEW has a great roster, but you can tell they're lacking in the development of storylines and everything. Whoever's in charge, I heard several different stories. I don't know who's in charge. Whoever's in charge is just doing a poor job of just writing. That's it. If they had better writing, AEW can clearly give E a run for their money just because of their roster alone. But they decide to do weird stuff. This weird stuff. You can tell they just take money and just throw it against the wall. They take ideas and throw it against the wall, and whatever sticks. No, that's not gonna work. That's
what up, Cobra? I hope everything's going good with you, brother, and everything. God bless you, brother. But I think from the outside looking in, and he also said money talk because we was talking about people coming back.
People going back, most definitely.
Yeah. I do think that if it's not Tony or whoever it is, they're trying to cater to everybody, and I think that's what messes it up. I think that's why storylines are not that great. Hey, they got to be strong, so somebody got to interfere, or an object somebody has to be stricken with an object, and things like that. And I think that's what it is. They're trying to please everybody, and you cannot please everybody in this business.
Most definitely you can't. That includes the fans sometimes. Sometimes you got to do something that the fans are going to dislike.
Yeah, if you're in your hometown, you're probably winning a belt, like Darby beating Samoa Joe because it was in his hometown. And I will say this, AEW does do a great job with feel-good moments, but they're moments. They're not lifestyle.
Those moments don't last.
They don't last. The moments don't last. Okay, Darby won. A lot of other people. Like they Acclaim winning the rematch in New York, their hometown or whatever, when they should have won it the first time in the first match when it was at All Out. But then what after that? That's not, to me, I can't speak for me or you or anybody else. That's not going to be like 5 years from now. I remember when Darby won in his hometown. You know what I'm saying?
For me, AEW feels like a super indie fed. I feel like it's like, I hate to say this, when the mark has way too much money, that's what AEW feels like. I'm going to bring in all these stars. I'm not going to really do anything, but they're going to put on all these matches. Every single match is almost exactly the same. Spot. Weird finish. That's it.
Yeah, the finishes. And I've said this on other people's lives and podcasts. I'm like, I think Tony has to realize that some of these guys, probably most of them, are not his friends. So you cannot continue to do what you're doing and things like that. Not saying that WWE is perfect, because WWE has some stuff that'll be like, dang, why did you do that?
Yeah, of course. But it's just, I tried numerous times to get back on to watching, and I'd be like, I can't do this. I can't do it. It's just some of the things they've done. It'd be like, why are you doing this? This makes no sense whatsoever. And of course, people, when you say anything on social media about it, oh, well, you're not there, or you will go there. Of course, I'll go to AEW, of course, because I want their money.
Atlas,
like Cobra said, money talks. I would gladly take their money. But
Atlas says, I wholeheartedly disagree. Before the Punk thing, most of the main event stuff was long-term planning. WWE has conditioned you new school guys to want super short booking. Hold on now. Hold on.
I was about to say, hold on.
Wait a minute now. There's nothing wrong with long-term booking at all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things can be hit or miss, and sometimes things I lose interest in. And like I said, I'm different from everybody else on certain things like that.
And just like you said, the hit or miss and losing interest, a lot of their stuff I lost interest in. That whole them trying to build up Page to be this top guy, the face of the company. No, I just didn't see it.
I think he says the Punk thing happened and now they got to push stuff. Nah, even before the Punk thing, though, it was just like, okay, the Hangman thing, right? I do think they should have gave him the title earlier, before Punk and Bryan Danielson signed. That's me personally. I do think they had about a year and a half to do that, and people were waiting for that, and people were waiting, and then he had a chance to go against Kenny if his tag team won, then the tag team lost. Then it was like, okay, back to the drawing board again. So I want to say long-term storytelling is fine. It can work, but sometimes it does not. You know, when Hangman finally did win, many of us, I was like, well, dang, when is Punk? Who's going to win it? Punk or Bryan's going to win it from him? You know,
we automatically was like, okay, when is he losing it? I was not too much of a fan of what they were doing. A good example of that is Chris Jericho winning the ROH title. That to me came out of nowhere. Why? Why are you putting the title on Jericho? Why? Why are you putting the ROH title on Jericho? What are they doing with that company anyway? He bought it and it's just sitting there. Oh,
that's the Ocho right there, man. You can't disrespect the Ocho like that.
It's crazy. They have so many wrestlers. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still a fan. I still watch wrestling as a fan.
Yeah.
They have so many wrestlers that I enjoy watching. I can't watch because I just don't believe in the product. Like, can't watch this. Can't. But people knock me for saying it, like, oh, you're just a hypocrite, or you'll go over there, or you should be careful of what you say because you get blackballed. I don't care.
I've always said that. Atlas says Hangman was never supposed to be the face of the company. Hangman deal was him self-sabotaging his mental stuff.
They were building that boy up as soon as they started the company.
I wouldn't say face. I will agree with Alice on that. I wouldn't say like they were going to build him to be the face of the company. I knew that they were going to build him to eventually beat Kenny Omega for sure, but I wouldn't say like him winning was a transition to make him like the face of the company at all. I just wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
To me, everybody knew that eventually he was going to win the title. But if he wasn't going to be the face of your company, then what was the point of putting the title on him?
You can give people titles. That doesn't like equate them to like being the face of the company. You know what I'm saying? It sounds bad, but it's true. Sometimes people are paper. Sometimes it's just a transitional thing, or sometimes it's just I just want to show you I appreciate what you do and stuff like that. And that's even on TV. You get what I'm saying?
I was about to say, even on TV, people do it. That's some indie stuff right there. Even on TV, we do it.
Come on, man. Like some things,
business though.
It's just a part of the thing. You should sell it as them being the face because they have the major title. You get what I'm saying? You should sell it like that. I will say AEW tried their best when he finally won the title. I just wish that it was a little bit earlier than when he did because of all the major signings and stuff happening.
Yeah,
that's what I will say. I will say
everything was outshining him winning, like everything. Like
yeah, because his matches were solid. Even then, his matches were solid even as the champion. You know what I'm saying? For what I've seen, I haven't seen a bad match that the man has had. But just the way it was, the way that Punk was like gaining steam, everybody wanted to see what was going on with Danielson and everything like that. I just think it was just a bad time. You know, even if they promised that he was going to do it, I just think it was a bad time. You know.
Yeah. I just can't. I can't. I tried so many times to sit there and watch. I'll be like, yeah, I'd rather watch NXT.
No, I give stuff a chance. You know, a lot of people, they say they don't watch Dark, AW Dark and Dark. I actually sit down and I watch it. You know, some things, you know, I support some people that I know, and sometimes I just look.
Usually
you know,
I watch
I give it
someone I know or in there. Other than that, yeah, not really.
Yeah. I watch it. You know, they're dark matches anyway, so they're not supposed to be that long anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
someone brought up a good fact too when AEW started. You know, they're a place for opportunity. We're giving everybody a chance. This is diversity. Me and one of my coworkers were talking about this. When they said diversity, in the heavyweight title picture, where's the diversity? I don't see any diversity. Like, I don't see any opportunities going to anyone other than people who are already established. And where's, you know, the brown folks or any other minorities? Like, I'm just seeing the same people getting opportunities.
Well, I remember I talked to Kevin Young Sr., aka Yellow, and we talked about it because I had brought up an article to when AEW first started, and Tony said in 2 years they're gonna have a black world champ, and then it was just like this is past 2 years. Now this is my take on that. All right, you know, when you say something, usually that's all you have is your word. You get what I'm saying? So it's just the fact that you said it that I have a gripe with. Now,
Tony Khan definitely has put his foot in his mouth a couple of times.
Yeah. So my thing is, you know, sometimes it is about who can draw and who can do this and who can do that. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people love MJF. I like MJF. You know, they love MJF and the stuff that he do. But then now people are trying to bring up a statistic that he rarely wrestles. And I'm like, you know, in my opinion, old school way, is he the champ? He shouldn't have to wrestle every week because he's a champ. Why he has the prize? Why would he wrestle every? He's not as a face, as a heel. You don't have to wrestle every opportunity you get. You find a way. You shouldn't. You shouldn't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Why should I? I'm champ. Why should I have to defend my title? They're gonna split the roster and AEW guys and RH guys. Period. Heyman.
They don't need to do that. I hope they don't do that. Atlas says, who are you looking to have a shot at? That is one that's going to draw heat, and two is complete enough to be in that spot minus Keith Lee, like a black champion for AEW that they have.
That's what I'm saying. You brought Keith Lee in, you brought Swerve in, you brought Jay Lethal in. Jay Lethal had enough heat. Well, I wouldn't say heat, but he had enough behind him for you to push him into that main title picture. But you didn't do nothing. Where's Gresham?
Oh, Gresham been gone.
I know. I heard like they pissed him off. I heard that he was done. Like he was like, "Oh no, I'm good," and just walked out. What did y'all do to this man?
But this is what I say is just because it's something new, it doesn't mean that you're not going to frustrate people. You get what I'm saying? That's just a part of the thing. As far as black champs and giving a chance, maybe like he said, minus Keith Lee, I could maybe Swerve. You know, Swerve. You know,
Swerve when they brought Keith Lee,
Starks as well. Ricky Starks, like you don't like Starks? Oh, you don't like Starks, bro?
Cool, he's a cool guy. I met him he's a cool guy.
You don't like Starks?
I don't know. Maybe it's the way AEW is using him. It just comes off really cheesy to me right now, man. Like
You said what?
He's coming off really cheesy to me right now. It's like he had said something and it gave me like early rock insults. Like, what is? I don't know. I'll give it a chance. Like you said, I will give it a chance. But
I think Ricky Starks could do good in that role if given it, but I don't think they're going to give it to him because he's already feuding with MJF and Jericho now. Maybe in the future, but right now I don't see it. If anything, I do see Danielson, not soon, but him taking the title off of MJF to have like a feel good moment. But
and it's crazy because he doesn't need that. Daniel Bryan doesn't need that. He doesn't need that. You don't have to put the title on him. A lot of the guys to me, Moxley, many times he don't want the title. I know the last time with the whole Punk deal was kind of needed, but again, AEW with their weird moments, man. Weird moments. When they brought Swerve and Lee in, I don't understand why they just grouped them together. I kind of felt offended. Oh, two black guys, you gonna put them together? That's racist.
They tagged in the independent scene, but to me, I agree though. I think that's when they could have gave the belts to FTR because they were doing the FTR and Young Bucks trilogy apparently, and it didn't go through. And then they were going to get the belts to the Hardy Boys, and then something happened with the stuff with Jeff Hardy, and then Swerve and Your Glory won it, and it was just like, okay, yay, black champs. So, but
in your face, we care about these black wrestlers. Look at them.
Atlas says Jay Lethal didn't have that heat. I agree with him. I do agree with him. I love Jay Lethal, right? But I think he's a great role player, if that makes sense. He plays his role well. And that's I don't want to say that's what's holding him back because that's probably what all they want from him. Hey, go against this guy, have a good match and stuff like that. So I can see that with that. Swerve maybe. Starks has potential for mainstream appeal. He's a long-time investment. And I agree. I agree with that. I think that Starks is just one of those guys that could be the pillar. They already said like 4 pillars or whatever. I think Starks could be shoehorned in that pillar as well, in my opinion. And Hobbs too, if they work well with Hobbs. I love Hobbs too. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just weird how it's just the character development for a lot of these guys is just AEW is lacking a team to help them develop these guys. Like outside of the diehard fans, AEW has a group of fans that they basically cater to, and that's all they're catering to. It feels like they're not trying to draw in anybody else. So it is, to me, they need to get a team together, a nice little board for, maybe they do have that. It doesn't feel like it. But if they don't have it, they need to get a little board together of people that with creative control over the storylines and character development. And this with weird ass storylines.
They said they worried about Keith's health on a long time. Y'all forgot No, I didn't forget. I didn't forget. I think a lot of people think about that as well. I'm not saying that you got to push him to the moon or he has to wrestle every week and stuff like that. But
Roman. Roman had to go away because he was sick. You know what I'm saying? So, but look what they're doing with Roman and E. Like, his health shouldn't be an issue. That's what we have doctors for. He constant checkups and make sure he's good and all that other stuff. You can still give him a push other than what you're doing.
Then he also says Hobbs needs Mike help. I agree. I think that if maybe like Stokely would be his manager besides other people, I think that would work for Hobbs more than anything. Somebody.
I do like Hobbs, but like Horn said, he does kind of need help with the mic. But until you get him that, just keep it simple. Destruction. He's a big boy. Let him run through people instead of having him do a lot of the stuff that he's been doing. Like, to me, I don't know. It was a moment where I felt like he was bumping way too much. Like, for a dude that size, he's bumping way too much for smaller guys. But that's a lot of those big guys in AEW. Like, I was watching a Brian Cage match, and he was bumping his ass. Dude, you're big as hell. Why
you bring up Brian Cage, man? You see how he was bumping for Tessa Blanchard? Like, of course he's going to bump for smaller guys. Like, you see how he was bumping for Tessa? Come on.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that either. Like,
me neither. But Come
You
on,
can
man.
still
Like
get
you knew
over.
it.
Look, I was like, you can still get her over without bumping so much, man.
Yeah, but the man was
And this is coming
bumping.
from a little guy.
Yeah.
Bumping too much.
But
I
yeah,
need the big guys to be big guys again.
But even with the Hobbs thing, it'll be like, dang, you don't even want him to be like on the similar path that they had for Wardlow until they like watered and cooled his heels off too. So
I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, I don't know what's going. Like it felt like he said something in the locker room to piss somebody off or something. Because he was on fire. Then all of a sudden, yeah, you're done. You're done.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't beat Joe, but Darby beat him this week. So
I watched that and was dumbfounded. Like, wait, what? Whatever. And that's like, man, you had to give AEW a chance. I just did, and look what they did.
No.
Look what they just did to me.
But AEW, like I will say, like they do have like some good things going for them and stuff like that. I do know that, like especially 2022, a lot of people were critical on their product and stuff like that. I guess because when Triple H took over, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's going to be better now. AEW got to do better." I'm like, "Nah, keep the same energy y'all had." So,
yeah. I like you said Triple H took over. Man, he's running that place now, man. What you talking about?
Man, you know what I mean. Martel says, "Catch him up."
What you
I
mean?
interviewed.
Watch it later.
I interviewed him. I asked him where he came from, what made him want to be a wrestler and become a fan. A lot of people were asking him questions as well. I asked him a couple pet peeves. We went over the pet peeves, and then we landed in AEW for a little bit.
I know. AEW is a pet peeve of mine. I guess I would never, ever wrestle in AEW now. He said that Darby finished basically. It's that wow. Hey,
the coffin drop. The coffin drop.
I was watching at work and just put my phone down and walked away. Coworker was like, "You good?" "No, I'm not good." Like,
that's his finish. And I remember he did it to Ethan Page when Ethan Page was in a coffin because they had a coffin match, a casket match, whatever they called it. And he did it to him and he fell through the thing. And then you just saw Ethan in there just selling. Look.
Man, hey, is there certain things I'm not a fan of? And that's one of them.
And that's fine. I just think that we're living in we've been in a climate where people are like, hey, you should be glad that another company is trying to compete with WWE. And I'm
Why
like,
do they have to though? Just be you. Stop trying to compete. Stop bringing up the E all the time. It seems like almost every promo, every time you open your mouth, it's a shot at the E. You don't have to do that. It's getting old.
But even outside of that, they do great things. Now, what I will say is they do have fresh matchups.
Yeah.
You won't see a Roman Reigns versus Shelton Benjamin randomly out the blue like that. But AEW, they'll do things like title eliminators and stuff like that. And then sometimes they'll try to be behind a guy. They was trying to have people be behind Willer Yuta and Daniel Garcia. And then now even with Chris Jericho losing to what's his name? Action Andretti.
I saw that.
They try to give chances.
I had to look him up. Like, why is he beating Jericho? Who is this? So I had to look him up. Like, who is this?
Yeah. So yeah, they do try to risk some things, and some of it's high risk, no reward, high risk, big reward. I do think Starks could be. Yeah, I do think Starks is one of those guys that could eventually make it to the main event. He has the pizzazz. I mean, people are going to compare the guy to The Rock. They're just going to. The haircut.
I was about to say the haircut, the way he delivers.
Delivers
all that.
But he does try his best to be different. It's just difficult. Now, I'm not saying that he's in The Rock's shadow. I wouldn't disrespect him like that. But I do see like the similarities. Like I like the promo he had with MJF when he talked about his hair, he talked about his eczema. Like that was funny. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? I thought that was pretty funny and stuff like that. And I think that he knew how important it was for him to have a promo with MJF, who a lot of people give credit to being one of the best talkers in the business right now, that he couldn't just let this guy overwhelm him.
Yeah. I give it to him. It was a couple of good jokes there, you know. But as I said, man, this sounds like early Rock. Like, and then when you look at him, yep, I'm gonna need him to cut his hair or something. Do something, change your look, something. Separate himself from that, because that's always gonna bother him. It's always gonna be maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot to watch AEW again one more time. Gonna try.
All right, before we go, I do want to bring up something real quick. All right, so you have a match tomorrow.
Oh yeah, against them young kids. Yeah. Lauren Rivera. I could have swore we beat them already, but you know, I guess they want to come back. It's fine. I've been paying more attention to your match, sir.
Me?
Yeah, you and Mike Strong. I'm paying more attention to the match. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I gotta give something back that was taken from me wrongfully. So
hey, like at least you held it. I haven't even smelt it, you know. I'm just saying, opportunity should be given, or maybe they should be taken.
I mean, he took an opportunity and he wound up winning the title. So
yeah, man. But we're gonna be watching. Everybody's gonna be watching you too. Yeah. All eyes on the main event.
I think all the matches are going to be solid, though. I didn't get a chance to download all of them to my StreamYard because I cooked before I got on. But I do think that it's going to be a solid show that people do not want to miss.
It's the anniversary, so we're expecting to see a lot of crazy stuff. So maybe I actually will do some wrestling tomorrow. Never know.
Yeah,
pull a couple of moves out the bag of tricks tomorrow. Maybe a Piranha. I ain't did one of those in a while.
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun. But before we head out, are there any words, anything that you would like to say to everyone before we head on out?
This year for me, 2022 was pretty rough for me personally. I went through a lot of changes mentally. Lost my mom. A lot of personal things have happened. This year, I expect great things for me. I'm prepared to take this business by the grapefruits and make a mark, because I feel like that window is closing. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this. So I got to leave a mark sooner or later, right? So plan on doing that this year. So people better remember my name, which is Damien Tyler. Please remember my name. Yep.
I think you will, man. Yeah, I think you're a great wrestler, great worker. We talk about the business. You don't, man, stop.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But like I said, if you guys want to see us in action tomorrow, is at Full Circle 4. Doors open at 6, bell time 7. Get your tickets on Eventbrite.
I plan on doing big things tomorrow.
It's going to be so dope. I want to thank my guest, Damien Tyler. I want to thank guys who left questions and comments. Brett, Atlas, Cobra, Ayla. I hope I'm saying it right. The Sandman. Hey, what's going on, man? We just wrapping up the interview. I know you subscribed to the channel today. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be honest. These are some things that I do. Is being a wrestler myself. I interview other wrestlers and stuff like that. We talk about the business and we talk about everything. So, hopefully, if you have time, rewatch this one. I have previous stuff and matches. So thanks for the shot. Thanks for even commenting. But like I said, meet us tomorrow. It's going to be very dope. I got an announcement I'm going to drop I just got the green light for, so I'd probably drop that at 7:00. But I hope you guys are great. Damien, I appreciate you for being online with me and everything like that. First interview of the year. I appreciate that. And this is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.